Hello. Studio Hooks is just turn it up to this, bro.
Nah, man. That beat me
That was fire. That was fire.
booth. No, I basically want to jump in the booth, man. I can't lie.
Allah, man's turning up to that beat, bro. Big up to everybody. Welcome back to the Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. Big ups to everybody who is in here nice and early. Big ups to all my panelists on the channel today. Ashraf unfortunately couldn't join us, but he said if he can, he might pop in later on in the stream. But listen, there's so much to get through, man. There is absolutely so much to get through. Okay. Firstly, I want to just state it out loud right now that we are smoking on that Jurgen pack tonight. It is very tasty. It is absolutely nourishing. Do you know what I mean? No, chill out. There's no need for the pause on that one, bro. There's no need for the pause on that one. It's the pack, bro. It's not the pack. It's not the actual guy, bro. What we did here, pause. That was a pause, though. Anyway, listen. Big up to the chat. Big up to Letty already in the building, my brother. Coming through. Saying congrats on the win. Well deserved. Yes, I do agree. It was well deserved, and I appreciate you for saying congrats. Thank you very much, guys. We are here, man. Back in this title race. I think we've earned our place to be back into this title race. I think we've earned a lot of respect from Liverpool especially, to be honest. I think we earned their respect yesterday because a lot of the fans were coming into this, should I say, arrogant, coming into it expecting to get the 3 points before they played the game. And we kind of showed them that, listen, we are still in this race and we definitely have some guns in our arsenal, no pun intended, that can definitely hurt teams, especially big teams. So listen, big up to everybody who is tuned in. Big up to the panelists, and I guess I should start off by saying, how is everybody feeling this evening after that amazing win, bro?
Feeling good, feeling great, and do you know what? Since we won, I've been loving the kind of shift in direction of the conversation from the Liverpool fans, innit? Because before 4:30, them man, they thought it was gonna be an easy game. They thought they was pulling up to the Emirates and smoking us like we was Chelsea. But all of a sudden, man are now talking about where's your UCL trophy? Oh man, we're still first. Oh, you won third to third, but we're second. It's crazy. So yeah, man, I'm just happy that we smoked them guys, and it's gonna be a great week as an Arsenal fan.
Bro, let me just stop you there though, man, because your energy's wrong, man. Obviously, I've got my depressed glasses on, my sad glasses, because we're not allowed to be happy. We're not allowed to be happy, guys. You know, we won this game.
Do not celebrate.
I'm not allowed to celebrate. I'm not allowed to come on here. I've got to say the same shit. We are crap. Yeah, we're shit. We ain't in the title race. We're gone. We're done. Nah, listen, I get these glasses out here, bro. But listen, yeah. All the Liverpool fans, yeah, all of them, yeah. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Sam said that we were gonna win. He's one person that I see. What I watched of him, he might have been chatting shit on something else. He said we're gonna win. Everyone else give us zero chance. Zero chance. And the fact of the matter is, we gave them zero chance. If anything, we gave them a little belief, gave them a little own goal. Yeah. Let them think, oh, yeah, now the second half. And then we bucked them again. Bro, they had 5 minutes in that game. At the start of the second half, they had 5 minutes in that game. And that is all they had. All they had. Never have I can remember playing Liverpool and it feeling like it felt like we were playing like Sheffield United or something. I'm not even trying to disrespect them. They're trying to disrespect them. That's how they felt. That's how it felt yesterday. I weren't stressed at all. Apart from the thought of it's Liverpool and they could do something, I wasn't stressed at all watching that game. I swear to bro, someone try and name me a chance where you thought, oh god, I thought that was gonna go in.
Do you know what? The McAllister chance from just outside the box where it went just to the right.
The Gakpo miss as well. That was massive. Like if that went in, that Gakpo miss. If that went in, I think the game could have changed.
Yeah.
But I agree with them. You know, man, they were poor. They were awful. That was not Liverpool yesterday. I don't know who that was. They were frauds.
No.
No, I think it was us that stepped up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was us. I don't think
midfield.
They didn't expect it. They just didn't expect it. The way we was playing, they just didn't expect it. Jurgen Klopp was baffed. He was baffed.
Can I say real quick here? I was on this preview, and I called for Jorginho to start. Who got man of the match? Who got man of the match?
Yeah. That's what I wanted to say in my intro. I wanted to say big up Hooks for the Havertz call and big up you, Connor, for the Jorginho call. Big up to you both. Those were two amazing calls. I didn't want to see them together, but hey, we witnessed it and it went amazing. I want to give Arteta praise where it's due. This was a tactical masterclass, in my opinion. He out-tacticked Klopp like it was nothing. Like Klopp was just a senile old man waiting for his retirement. But yeah, all respect to Liverpool. They got 2 points in the last 2 years against us in the league. Respect to them. Apart from that, they didn't show much against us in the last 2 years. But yeah, our team was amazing, bro. How Havertz played, even Kivior when he came on, he played decent. He was apart from a few missed passes that he made in the beginning when he came on. After that, he just was locked in, and everything went smooth sailing from there. We didn't miss Zinchenko whatsoever. Martinelli still balling out. It was amazing. It was amazing to watch, and this is the Arsenal that we've been screaming for this whole season. I think this was the best game that we've played this season, even better than the City game. And yeah, Jorginho, Rice, and we'll talk about them in detail later. But wow, every player stepped up, and I'm really happy to see. Even the wife sharers, they balled out. Ben White looked like Cafu, spinning man, giving them panas and stuff. He was on it, and I loved it. And this is the Arsenal I've been looking for. Who better to do this against than the Liverpool team that didn't have a legitimate loss this season? And we gave them their first legitimate loss this season with our chests and with our cojones and with Arteta out-tacticking Klopp. And see you later, Klopp. This is the last time you'll see Emirates. So yeah, have a good one, mate.
Klopp's rattled. Klopp's rattled when in the 55th minute he's bringing 3 attacking substitutes on the pitch. He realizes there's something wrong there.
Yeah. Fact.
Yeah, you know what, and to be honest, firstly, I need to just retract there because I need to go back to things. First of all, Connor, you're a fraud because Connor sat here and said I had Jorginho in my starting lineup. Not once did this fraud actually come out and say, "Oh, but Erdogan was not in there, bro. Erdogan was out of that lineup. Erdogan was on the bench chilling." So hold on a minute. What did Erdogan do in the game?
Yeah, for that first goal. He played a good pass. Sadly, it was an assist because we know the guy that had the first shot couldn't get it in the back of the net. Thank God Saka was there. So, listen, I wish Havertz would have scored that, man, especially if it was the first goal. Because we know, and fair play to him, by the way, because he got Konate sent off, and I rate that. And he got them rattled, by the way. Them 2 centre-backs, he got them rattled. And I want to say this real quick, and in no disrespect towards him, I genuinely believe Gabriel Jesus being injured was a blessing in disguise. I really do. Because I don't believe we would have had Jorginho playing in midfield, and I don't believe we would have had Havertz in centre-forward if Gabriel Jesus was there. And listen, he's not ideal. He's probably not the best at centre-forward. But I think, for me personally, having Kai Havertz in that centre-forward role adds a bit more physicality to it as well. He can get stuck in with the opposition defenders, like he did yesterday with Konate and Van Dijk. With Jesus, it's more obviously on the ball. He's a dribbler. He's going to stay away a bit. He's going to be more on the ball. He won't really get involved with the centre-backs. And I think the fact that he is our tallest attacker in Havertz, he can get more involved in the game. And I like that. And I wouldn't mind seeing it against West Ham. And there's nothing wrong with having, in my opinion, having Jesus on the bench. Listen, Jesus is a great player. I'm not putting that down. On the ball, he's fantastic. But I really just want to see if this team can work it. Because if it can beat Liverpool in that way that it did, I want to see it do it again against West Ham. I'm just curious to see. But yeah, no, fair play. I said I didn't want to see Odegaard, and he did turn up, and it was a fantastic pass into Havertz. And where Van Dijk was, I have no clue. Van Disney was on point, mate. So yeah, that wasn't Van Dijk on performance last night. But now fair play to Odegaard. It was a good performance, not just from him, but from pretty much the whole team. So yeah, big up to him, man. Big up to him.
No, 100%. And to be honest, yeah, listen, I'll be so real. Okay, why not? My bad. Let me bring up the other one. Letty, who do you mean by Mr. Pound for pound? Is that Ash? Because I feel like Ash says that pound for pound. He's pound for pound better. Is it Ash? Or who is it? Who is Mr.
Ash.
Pound for pound? Please let me know. But yeah, listen, I think I agree with you guys. I think we were outstanding yesterday. We played let's not joke around here. We played them off the park. I think it was clear. Klopp, the result firstly is absolutely on Klopp. He came into that game with, I don't know what he was trying to do. Playing what's his name, Gakpo down. I believe he was playing him down the middle and right. And it did not work, bro. It did not work. So it is absolutely it's weird to see Klopp do that, because normally you think of Klopp and yeah, listen, you think, oh, it's Hassam. Yeah, no. Hassam might be on another one, you know what I mean? But he listen, we ain't got him right now. Yeah, we got the boys right now, because it's all Arsenal right now in the building. Ain't no Liverpool fans up in here. We ain't doing no Liverpool prop, but we're out here doing our Arsenal thing. But
Yeah.
listen, for me, I think I see. Hold on. Big up, Sada. I see you stunting the win on Alahawa. Well done. Listen, bro. Listen, I had to pump out my chest, bro. I had to. Bro.
Yeah. You had some
This one
fraudulent statements,
especially,
but okay.
For this one. Now, what did I have? What fraudulent statements?
Bro, you said
What
Saka had a
fraudulent
good game. Saka was
No, he
shit,
did.
and I'm
He
gonna be
actually
real.
no, he actually did. He actually
He
did.
was shit.
If you actually look back, and you actually look at the game, see, let's not sit here and be fraudulent now. The first half, yes, he was looking shaky, but that second half, as soon as the pressure went off of, as soon as Liverpool had ended their little spout, Saka started to get into the game, bro. He was passing the ball around more. He was getting involved. Do you know what I mean? I like that. He was starting the press. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of course, yeah, we want Saka to get goals and we want him to pepper the goal, yeah? Of course. Yes.
No, but he had a lot of misplaced passes. He fluffed shots, and when the Trossard sub came, I thought Saka was going out, because even in the second half he looked horrible. And then he took Martinelli out. I was shocked. I was mad even. I was like, why are you taking our best attacker off and keeping Saka on? You know, I don't like to roast Saka because he's one of my favorite players in this team. But bro, I have standards for this kid. And at this moment in time, he's not performing. And last night was not good enough for me, man. We just to give you a context, I think we could have beaten them without Saka.
I don't disagree with that.
I disagree.
He scored the first goal, though. The one thing I will say, though, is Saka does need to get stuck on a bit. Like, some people don't like to stick it on him. I don't think he had a good game. I don't think he had a bad game. I thought he just had an all right game. I think the thing is, like, let's not forget, a lot of people are calling out Havertz, even though he had a great game, saying that means, oh, he's lucky Saka's there and that, but Saka missed a header. That God, if we didn't win that game, that's something that you look back at and you say, boy, you have to score that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, Saka had an all right game. I wouldn't say he was bad though.
I think for me, the reason why I'm saying he had a good game, and sorry, Studio Hooks, because I'll let you go, because I know you also believe he had a good game as well. The reason why I'm saying he had a good game is because he was still able to keep up with that intensity in the midfield and pressing from the front. Do you know what I mean? I need my players to press from the front. Okay, so the fact that he was pressing from the front is brilliant for me. Yeah. Yes, Saka might have misplaced a couple passes. Yeah. Yes, the passes might have been misplaced. Yes, he missed that header. I fully understand that. But all I'm saying is he still had a decent game. It wasn't of his best quality games, of course. But I'm not gonna come out and say he was shit or anything like that. If we really want to say something, fine. I can say that he had um a, a good game. Decent maybe is a word for like a game that he was scoring, assisting. Do you know what I mean? He was consistently on the ball and peppering his man. I feel like Martinelli was our best attacker. If I'm really looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
Martinelli was on fire,
Mm-hmm.
on smoke. Um, to
And
be
Saka
honest,
was our worst attacker.
I feel like they listen. They all
I think
played together.
Havertz was easily our worst attacker, no? Or was
No,
it?
No,
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 no, no,
Havertz,
no, 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 no,
Havertz
no, no.
wasn't. Hold
Havertz
on,
did
Havertz
so
did so
much.
much, bro, so
When he
much.
went to the, you know why Martinelli looked good yesterday? Because did you see how many times Havertz went to the left side and gave
Yeah,
Martinelli the space to go into the middle
Every
Hmm.
time.
to play like he wants to play in the striker position? He did that so many times. You know how we played You know how we played yesterday? Exactly the way that Liverpool played against us in Anfield. Long balls towards Zinchenko and Salah, and then creating something. We did the same, and we gave all the long balls to Havertz on the left side, so we could create something into the middle. And I think Havertz did that really good. And I'm the biggest Havertz critic, but I can only give him praise for yesterday. He did good, apart from that one miss.
yeah. Studio Hooks, you were gonna say something about Saka. Obviously, I know. I was
I see.
speaking as well, but
I don't know. My perspective on Saka is always different because I understand that he's a player that everybody is always on. Like everybody's always on Saka. So I think it's very unfair for us to judge him by performances. And I think it makes more sense to judge him by how effective he is in the game. And from what I saw today, he was excellent at pressing. And I think that's something that Saka needs to improve in his game. I don't always think that he's really good at pressing, but he was really good at pressing in that game. And he was the one that began the demolition of Liverpool. If he's not there, let's just say if Saka's not there and we don't score then, what happens in the game? What do we still go on to win? I'm not so sure.
I'm going to be real. If that ball fell in front of Ramsdale, even he would have scored.
But at the end of the day, you do have to look at it though. It's, right place, right time. Some chances the player might not be there.
But that's why he's so good, because for us, he seems to be in the right place at the right time. And
it doesn't help that sometimes as well that you could see for a lot of parts of that game, like there were 3 Liverpool men on him. There was 3 men on him at one point. So they know he's a threat. We all know he's a threat because we all know he's a class player. It's just so annoying at them times where I think the point where where some people are trying to get across is where he wasn't that great. I think the way I can agree and disagree is it's difficult because he is so pinpointed by every single team we play that it is sometimes difficult to say he didn't have a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 because he's so locked off. Maybe tactically we can figure out a way to try and fix that so there isn't 2-3 man pressing him at one point. But that is a point you do have to put out there because teams are always, especially not even just him, even Martinelli as well. Teams are always pressing our wingers. Always.
But this is where the strength of Saka comes in, because he is someone who gets tripled up on, doubled up on, near enough every single game. It releases so much space for other players on the other side, and that's what we take advantage of. Like we sprayed so many diagonal balls to both Havertz and Martinelli that. Does it really matter that Saka's locked out the game because we're finding joy from elsewhere? And that's where I see the benefit of how we play in it, is that we have really effective wingers. So if one's getting locked off, what are you going to do to lock off the other one? It's just creating space all over the pitch. So I think it's unfair to say that he didn't have a good game because clearly what Arteta wants him to do, he is doing. In my opinion, at least.
Yeah. Listen. I agree, man. I feel like, listen, just him pulling the players away because they know that he's a danger. Yeah. So he is gonna have like 3 man, like he had on him. Yeah, he had 3 man covering him, making sure that he doesn't do anything in that game. Yeah, that takes 3 man away from defending other players. That creates abundance of space, and that mixed with him doing the pressing that he was doing from the front when they had the ball. Like if you saw there was a triangle between Saka, Erdegaard, and Ben White. There was a triangle on that left side. Gomez, I don't know if you guys saw it, where Gomez was literally covered by all three of them.
Yeah.
All three of them, and then he literally back passed it out of play. Bro, that is literally the press that I want, bro. I want those triangles, the square in the middle. I don't know if you guys saw the square, bro. The
Yeah,
square
even
in the
Rice.
middle, bro. Declan Rice and Jorginho, Erdegaard and Havertz, they come and cause and literally made a square that of pressure, and they're just pressing them from the midfield, bro. Getting that ball, do you know what I mean? And getting it back. Havertz this game for me was brilliant. I think Arteta set him out because if Staffy pointed out to me, and I didn't even realize it at first. He pointed out to me that it was actually Havertz that was inverted into the midfield. He
Yeah.
was inverting into the midfield from the striker position.
Yeah.
If you realize that Zinchenko didn't even come into the midfield, Zinchenko was out wide all the time, all the time. I know everybody's talking about these shapes. Man said Tash Tash saying Sada's talking about shapes like he's in the first grade. That's nuts. And then Clay saying Sad geometry class is going over my head. Dumb it down for me, G. No, I'm just talking about when they say triangles. You know what I mean? They got 3 players make a triangle to press the opposing players. Do you know what I mean? And we were doing that a lot. Obviously, that's all tactical or tactical talk when they
Yeah.
say these triangles and squares and circles and rectangles, octagons and all sorts. You know what I mean? But for me, I like the pressure that we held, and I like the what we were doing in the game. But I have a quick question, yeah, which was put out by Clay, yeah, because Clay put out a very good question, which I want to put out to the panel, and I want you guys to answer it honestly. We'll start off with Giuseppe, and we'll go around the panel. Do you think Arsenal kick on from this game in the title race? History says different, but you are in the conversation still. Giuseppe, do you think that Arsenal can kick on from this game in the title race and possibly go on to win it?
Yeah, bro, win it might be a bit far, because City are that good. But I think we're gonna kick on. I think we already have. I think we've seen it. Like, I'm not being funny. We were struggling to get any goals. We were struggling. We weren't looking great even before we started losing games. Right? Gone on this little break. Gone to had a little preseason. Got a few things sorted. Come back 5-0, 3-1. Yeah, we're like. So I mean, people say about our goal scorers and that, but we're like 5 goals or 4 goals off of Liverpool. Like now we're
Yeah.
starting to get goals. I think that's yesterday. Yeah, I'll be real. When I watched the game yesterday, I was just thinking, when you see that game is we just got chances in the back of the net. We dominate games. All games this season we've dominated this way. Yeah, pretty much. We just haven't been scoring. We need a mix. I think now the confidence is coming back in the players. Martinelli, Havertz looking more confident. Odegaard's looking more confident. Listen, with Partey coming back, I think we can push on. Obviously, the history of like that we flopped near the end of the season and stuff like that. That's what history are you talking about? Because that's not the history of Arsenal Football Club, brother. Yeah, because if you know the history of Arsenal Football Club, we win league titles, bro. The last 10, 20 years is not the history of Arsenal Football Club. Yeah. Many a time Arsenal pushed on at the end of the season and got the job done. Many a time. So I think we can do it. I don't think there's
89. 89 at
Hey,
Anfield.
it's funny that
Oh.
you bring up 89, bro. Don't make me bring up the shirt again, man. Don't you bring out the shirt. Now, fuck it, bro. You know what? Fuck it, bro. Fuck the monetization, bro. I'm bringing the fuck.
But yeah, man, I think we'll push on. I think we'll be all right to win the league. I don't know if we'll do enough, because I think to win the league we're gonna have to get a result against Man City at their ground. be either a draw or a win, but we have to take points off of them there. We need to hope that maybe Liverpool and City, when they play each other, they draw, and we have to be winning all our games and just hope someone could do us a little favour along the way with City. I think there's too many variables for us to win the league that we would need to happen. So I don't think we'll win the league, but I think we'll compete till the end.
I think there's you're right. I think there's too many variables outside of Arsenal's control for any Arsenal fan to confidently say we can win the title. I don't think any Arsenal fan could confidently say we will win the title because everyone follows the same kind of I guess talking point that Liverpool's going to go on to win 15 games in a row. Man City's going to go on to win 15 games in a row. So if that happens, Arsenal cannot win the league, regardless of how good that we do anyway. So, yeah. But the one thing that I think that this victory does do is it makes the players believe. And that's the important thing. The players now, they would have been in that dressing room after the game. Arteta would have been speaking to them, and they would have genuinely been believing that they can compete at that same level with Liverpool and Man City. And that's all that we can ask for as fans is, are we competing with the best in the league? Because eventually there'll be a time where we don't have to worry about the Android team of Man City and their Android manager because he's not going to be there no more. So we just need to make sure that we get to a point where we're there and about, maybe second best, third best. And then when other teams start dropping off, we're still there. So yeah, I think we can push on to do something really good in this season. I still think we have a higher chance of winning the Champions League than the Premier League just because of how European teams play. It suits us a lot better because European teams, they don't really do this whole low block thing. But yeah, that's just my opinion at the very least.
Connor.
Yeah, listen, like
by the way, sorry, before you go, Clay also said, I meant recent history. Also, you got to do your job and win your games. The reason City and Liverpool don't fear you is because they bank on your inconsistencies, is what he said. Just obviously to follow up his super chat of the question. But when he talks about history, yeah, I know, but
2 points.
Calma. Let's not.
I'm saying 2 points off. 2 points off where we were this time last season. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is we've been pretty consistent. We haven't lost their games. That's the thing. It's just that these as we're saying, these Android teams just don't seem to fucking lose.
Yeah.
But sorry, Connor, bro.
No worries, bro. I said to myself yesterday, like, if we win, I believe we're obviously still in it. We're only 2 points behind the leaders. Yes, City do have their 2 games in hand, both against Brentford, which it will be interesting tonight. I'm hoping and praying that Brentford will pull something because you never know. Last 2 games they got something. So it's at home. So fingers crossed. We hope it's an Ivan Toney special. But now listen, we all know that Liverpool and City how dominated they can be. I mean, City. We all know City can probably easily go from now to the end of the season with wins because that's what City do. Like I say, Android teams, With Arsenal, listen, I've got to back the team because I didn't back them yesterday. Well, listen, I got the 3-1 result right. It's got it the other way around, so I have to apologise for that. I said yesterday on the group chat, I apologise. So my hands up. I'm never doubting the team again because they proved me wrong. And but the one thing that I've still got a bit of that hangover from last season. That run we were on. It was so pleasing to watch as an Arsenal fan, and we were so happy, and we were like, "Oh my god, this could actually happen. The dream might happen after 20 years." And unfortunately, obviously, it didn't. So for me, the way I'm looking at it, listen, I'm going to say it with everyone. We're in a title race, whether you're a City fan, a Liverpool fan, a United fan, a Chelsea fan, whoever you are. We are in this title race. Whatever the pundits say about any of this, it's just, it's a win. It's like that. Yesterday was a statement win to go ahead and win a league title. I mean, I don't understand how. I mean, listen, if it was like Sheffield United and we were doing it against Sheffield United when it was 5-0, I'd get the pundits and I get what they're saying, get down the tunnel at 3 points. But that's top of the league. I still, like I made the point on your channel before, Sod, I don't believe these guys were unbeaten since April of last year because that Spurs game, they should have won it. That was fraudulent from Spurs. They should have won that game. So in my beliefs, They were unbeaten since April of last year, and we went ahead and beat them. And I don't even care if Salah wasn't there. I heard Liverpool fans say if Salah even was there, they wouldn't have won yesterday. Maybe it'd have been a bit of a boost, but the whole team was tragic. Van Dijk and Alisson, two of their best players, were awful. So Salah can't always save them. And I don't think he would have been. Listen, he may have been a bit of an advantage, but not as much as you see Alisson, Van Dijk. The midfield was pretty much tragic. Bar McAllister, the attackers were awful. Jota always turns up against Arsenal. You weren't there yesterday. So listen, do I believe we're in the title race? Yes, and I do agree. Listen, Arsenal are sometimes known, in my opinion, for their inconsistencies now and then, and we've seen it. We went on that 7-game run. We picked up a minimal amount of points, so we can go on it. The only one thing that does really worry me, and it might be a bit of a statement here, is the Finn squad. Because injuries can come here, there, and everywhere of Arsenal. You just never know. And it happened to us last season, and I do still believe it was a key that Saliba was out. And I think it was one of the big misses to why we lost the season. Not the main reason, but it was one of them.
Just on that point there, sorry to cut in. It wasn't just that Saliba was out, it's that Saliba was out and so was Tomiyasu. So we had to rely on Holding as our defensive cover.
Yeah.
Who really and truly, he cannot play the way that Arteta wants centre-backs to play. Obviously, no dig at Holding, because Holding is that guy that, I'll throw my head into any...
Studio Hooks. With all due respect, fuck Holding. He's dog shit. He's utter fucking dog shit.
Can't even get a start at Crystal Palace.
Bro, forget about no disrespect to fuck that guy. He's the reason that I lost that fucking title because of his bozo moments. Fuck that guy, bro. I couldn't give two flying fucks about Rob Holding, bro. He's a clown.
But you see what I mean? That's the thing that worries me. If an injury comes in to a major player, because it happened last season. Listen, I'm talking about little negatives here. It's very. I'm going to go on a bit more positive note here. It's very clear and evident that this team is good enough to beat elite sides. It just done it yesterday. The problem is, I'm sorry, it's not consistent at times because we'll go into games like we did against Liverpool yesterday and we won't come up with a result like that. It is hit and miss with football, but that's all I want. We've proven again. We proved it against Man City at the start of the season. We can do it. We can do it. That's all I want to see. And if we carry on playing like that against West Ham, is it Burnley we got after that? I can't remember who we got.
Yeah.
Porto coming up in the Champions League. Consistency is key. Consistency will win you a league title. Consistency was what we had last season.
No.
We had that bad run, And that's all we need. And listen, I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm not saying, we're now ready, top running for it. Because I'm still humble. And I still believe that personally, I think City are just such a dominant force. But we went and beat them at the start of the season. Let's see what happens at the Etihad. We know our previous results that haven't been great. I'm taking it game by game. But listen, my last point is we've proven yesterday that we can beat the elite in the Premier League. We've done it twice this season with the two top teams at home. Now let's do it again at the Etihad, and then I think we could pull through. But I'm staying humble for now, and I'm waiting. I'm holding on.
Yeah, no, listen. Big up to Connor. T, what are your thoughts on this question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think
for me,
Arsenal... Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, do you think Arsenal can kick off from this game in the title race, and do you think they can win the league? And also, by the way, I'm loving this Tash and T beef, bro. A man said, let me just go back to the quick comment before T goes. Yeah, my bad for calling you Tash. My bad. He said TK reminds me of Holding, both bozos, and then T comes back and says, "At least I have a hairline."
It's true.
T is undefeated, bro. He's undefeated, bro, with these comebacks, bro. It's crazy. But go ahead,
bro.
T.
I'm Turkish, and I don't need Turkey to help my hairline. You know what I'm saying? He needed that. Hey. But anyway, the title race. Yeah, I think I will speak logically first, and then I'll give my own delusion about this situation. The realistic part is, statistically speaking, if you look at the amount of points, the amount of games played, yes, we still have a chance. We're still in February, and we still have a few months to go. Anything can happen. The big teams need to play each other, Liverpool and Man City as well. So yeah, anything can happen. Everybody can drop points, and a lot of teams also have bogey teams. But for example, Brentford beat City 2 times last season. Maybe they can do something tonight. You never know. These things can happen. So yeah, if you look at it in that way, yes, we are still in a title race. Can we win it? In my opinion, yeah, we can. But will we? I don't think so. I think City still has something to show us this season. I still think that they didn't kick off like they wanted to, and we know how they are in the second half of the season. I think they still have a bone to pick. So yeah, I think they will wake up sooner or later. But apart from that, now the delusion comes in. We must be in the title race this season. If not, if this ends up being a top 4 race, if we give this manager another contract, I will be vexed. Okay, because the learning about what Hooks was talking about yeah, we need these games, we can learn from these games. Those games were last season, not this season. This season was a must-win for me. Okay, I wanted at least a trophy this season. I even dropped my standards and said I wanted the FA Cup, but he fluffed that as well, like he does every time with the cups. So for
Studio
me,
Hooks, don't worry, bro. We're gonna get to it. We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get to it.
for me, he
I
must
can
be in
see
a
him
title
already
race.
wanting to say.
For me, he must be in a title race, and I want the semi-final Champions League, and I want a final the year after. I can give him leeway with the Champions League because this is our first season back in a few years. Okay, sure, but if we're talking about the title, bro, the learning was last season. Yes, it was a surprise. Yes, nobody expected it, but these players believed it. These players actually thought they were in a title race, and they were playing like that. So the learning should have been last season, in my opinion. This is the 4th year, and I think this year we must. We must. That's how I think. Because I personally want to win trophies. I don't know how anybody else feels about the situation, but we already had a few projects, aka Walcott, Wilshere, Ramsey, blah blah blah, all those young players that we had in the past. We've already had youth projects, so this is not the first time that this happened. But at the end of the day, I want results, and if results don't happen, I cannot back the project fully. I want to.
I
I
agree.
would love to. I would love to. Trust me. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to Arteta win the league and get a new contract. I would love that. But will it happen? Is it realistic? That's how I question this. And I want to win the league this season because I think we must win the league this season. That's how I see it.
I agree. I personally agree.
I don't know, man. I don't know why. Okay. Let me. All right. So let's just ignore anything that's happened this season. So let's just say it's the start of this season. Everything that happened last season still happened the same. Do you go into this season thinking that Arteta can win us the Premier League?
100%.
So you
After last season, I thought yes, of course he could. Yeah.
So you believed at the start of this season that Arsenal were going to win the league.
I believe we were going to challenge for it, and I do. And no. But everyone know. But the one thing I will say is, listen. I want to make it very clear here before I get in. I'm not Arteta's biggest fan. I did say myself, this is his last straw for me personally this season. I know everyone doesn't really agree with that or see that, but
why?
Because it's been what? How many seasons has it been now? 4 seasons now.
Can people stop saying this? Please.
For me personally, right, it's been 4 seasons now. About what? £800 million spent, £900 million spent. It's coming up to £1 billion, right? It's this amount. No, listen, hear me out. It's
also the longest trophy drought as well. This is our longest trophy drought.
He's had a total of 16 tournaments to be in. He's only won one of them out of all of them. Listen, there's been progression every season. I get that. People have said there's progression every season. I understand that. He's changed the culture of the club. I can agree with that as well. The fan base is a lot less hostile towards each other since the Wenger days. There's been progress. 8th, 5th, 2nd. For me, progression after that is you've proven you can be in a title race and compete for it. I'm expecting you to do it next season and go ahead and win it. And that's what I said for this season. And he's doing that currently. But now he's got to push it to the end of it and go ahead and win it. The one thing I will fault him on, listen, I understand FFP and all that, and I understand, it might be a bit difficult, but I was really disappointed we didn't bring anyone in January. Really disappointed. Not even just someone in on loan. Look, Tottenham haven't signed great players, right? But at least they've done business. Some decent. Dragusin looks decent as well. Werner ain't great. We know that for a fact. But that new youngster they brought in as well looks pretty decent. Listen, they've done business. And listen, the window wasn't busy. It was one of the deadest windows ever, right? But I don't want to focus on the other teams. I want to focus on Arsenal. I'm going to look at it in hindsight, right? And listen, it's if, buts, and maybes. But if we do manage to get injuries to quite important players, where are we going to be then?
Can I ask you something, though, bro? The one thing I want to say is, like, listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. If they want the manager, they don't want the manager. I've got a power that don't want Arteta here now. He didn't want Arteta there when we were 30 games in front. He still wanted him out because he said he wasn't the guy. But can I say something? If Man City win the league and Real Madrid win the Champions League, do we have a better team squad than these two teams? I just want to ask you that question. What's in your opinion?
No, not currently. No.
Did Napoli had a better team than Inter Milan as well?
Hold on, T. I'm just saying. Just let me finish. Yeah, let me land.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, if you don't win the league to them or the Champions League to them two teams, but you've put in an effort right until the end, as in like semi-finals, Champions League, battling till the end of the Premier League, there's not really shame in not winning to them. We have been, in my opinion, very consistent over the past 2 seasons. The problem is that Man City over the past 5 years have made consistency a new level. That's not consistency. That's Android. That's Android 18 and Android 17 Dragon Ball settings. Smacking Vegeta like he's nothing. Slapping Vegeta, slapping Goku like they're nothing at the start. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's real. You have to build up to that now. It can't happen overnight. It's slow progress. I get it, and I'm not against if we capitulate at the end of this season and we're like right near the bottom, top 4. Like we get top 4, but we just about scrape into it. I hear it more. But I think if we're challenging with Man City and they're still going on some Android tear, there's no shame right now in losing. You've got to sometimes look at the long game. And I know people say about the manager and that, but we're building it. We've built a team now that when these guys haven't got their players anymore, they're super clutch players, like people like Kevin De Bruyne and that. When they're all gone, our team is prime and ready to run the league for years.
But should we be waiting for these teams to do that to then say now Arsenal can go ahead and compete? That's
not at all.
Well, we're competing.
That's why we should be competing. That's what I'm saying. This is my point. That's why we should be competing minimal. But to say guarantee win it, I think is a bit
when do you believe for you would be like cut off? Be like, right, he's had his time now. It's like
next year there'd have to be a trophy in
100%. It has to be, surely. Yeah. It's just for me. Maybe I'm just a bit faster than everyone else, and all that. But it's just like I look at the amount of time and I compare it with, if you give another manager this amount of time. Listen, I'm not saying that Arteta hasn't done good things for Arsenal. I do think he's changed a lot of things with the club. But it does bring it back to the fact of, if you did have that experienced manager in the role, would we be in a different situation, coming in a certain situation, whether it was last season when we did get those injuries and things did happen? So that's why I'm just saying this season, it did bug me, right, that we haven't really gone far in the cups ever since he took over. That
pisses me off as well.
Compared to, and the reason, like I am, is because of our record in it, because we're the most successful, and the fact that at times it has felt like he did throw them away at times, But listen, I'm Arteta's critic. I'm one of Arteta's biggest critics, right? But I stand my ground, and I say, listen, I messed up last night. I said we were going to lose. I didn't think we were competent enough to win, and that's when he proves me wrong. And that's all I want him to do for me. Listen, I'm not fully like, get him out. Like, I hate him. He's all this and that. I will back the team and the manager and everything. But when I see that something isn't progressing, it isn't moving, I'm like, are we going to go backwards now in terms of silverware for me? Because we know how successful Arsenal are in terms of silverware. It's like, let's just try something else.
But I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example quick. Sorry, and then I'll shut up.
Yeah, please just land this last point, because I don't know when this became an Arteta in, Arteta out conversation. Yeah. I'm trying to have a nice conversation. I'm trying to be happy right now. Well, like you guys are killing my buzz, bro.
But the last thing, if you line up Tottenham managers and you say Conte, Mourinho, and Ange, and before any of these managers manage Tottenham, you ask them who you bringing in to win you stuff, who you're bringing in to progress your team. All of them would have been saying like Conte first, then Mourinho, then Ange last. We don't want Ange. We don't want Ange. And you've seen what happened. They brought in experienced managers that everyone was like, they're gonna win it, and they didn't do nothing. Sometimes it's the fault. Sometimes Suds, you think that this guy's gonna come in and do the job, and then he come in and he don't. Like you can't guarantee it with anyone unless you're bringing me Pep Guardiola. Yeah. Right now, I don't know a manager that's going to guarantee us winning the league against Pep Guardiola.
Not even Pep's doing it because Pep doesn't work with these non-world class players. I don't know what this myth is that Pep would come in and change our fortune. Like,
okay, but how did Wenger do it with young players against Sir Alex Ferguson then? 3 times.
Who? Sorry, I didn't
hear Wenger. It's not like Henry was a world beater when we bought him.
Okay, but Wenger, yeah, he did it at a time, yeah, where I'm sorry, this Man City android is different to the Man United thing because Man United weren't doing up like winning 30 plus games a season. Like they weren't going on these streaks. Like Man United weren't dominating like that. Like we weren't finishing the season on like teams having between 90 to 100 points. It wasn't like that. So there was a lot more room for you to kind of drop points, let's just say, and still be able to win the title. Like, even if we think about the Invincibles, we drawed like 12, 13 games. So we would have dropped an abundance of points, but we still won the league. And that's the difference. I don't think with the Invincible record that we had, we would win the league versus Man City, because Man City would have just won way more games than we did, which would have made the difference in points.
It was still a competitive amount of points, though. We still got 90 points in the season, so it's not too far out of what today's points total is. It's just I do agree with you. I think,
and also like no disrespect to all of the other teams in those times, but I don't really think that the Premier League was as competitive as what it is now. Like I don't believe that going to Aston Villa back in those days was really that difficult. Going to the likes of Sheffield United was, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. There's teams in this league, the West Hams, it wasn't that hard. But now, the West Hams, they can take points off you. And it's not a surprise when it happens because they actually have good players in their team. So, I don't know. I feel like the league is way too competitive right now for us to be, demanding as much as we are from Arteta, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, yeah, Arteta right now, he's in. You know what I mean? He's just won us. He's just won us the game against Liverpool, and
he got my man of the match.
Lead us to this title. You got your man of the match.
Yeah, Arteta got my man of the match because we went in at halftime, with me thinking, oh my god, it's gonna be one of those games again. How is it that they haven't had a shot on target, but it's 1-1? And then Arteta went in and done absolute magic in the dressing room, and we came out and we won the game.
To be fair, though, the first 10-15 minutes, Liverpool were on it. They were on it. There was the first 10-15 minute spell, but to be fair, no, I'm giving Arteta flowers. I gave Arteta an 8 out of 10 yesterday. I thought he was solid.
Yeah, same. I think Arteta coached a very good game. A very good game.
And I also noticed we did play a bit of that double pivot, Sard. I noticed Jorginho and Rice were playing a double pivot ahead of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
We were switching, and I didn't expect that, And I think it offered a lot more versatility into the team as well. We were swapping formations. I saw a 4-4-2 at one point. I like that, and I haven't seen that recently with Arsenal.
You know what it was, Connor? It was an actual midfield, not a midfield with Havertz, who is not a midfielder. That was the difference.
Yeah, I agree, man.
I slightly disagree because as of recent, when it comes to us defending, we do usually fall back into a 4-4-2 when we are defending. So I would disagree slightly, but I do get the point that's being made.
Skullex, the mic is a blue ice, I think it is. I'm not sure. It says blue on it, and I think blue ice is one of the mics. that's out there. I remember hearing that name, so I think it
Mm.
might be Blue Ice. I don't know. It says blue on it. That's all I know. You know what I mean? It's my boy's mic. It's not even my mic. So big up to my boy anyway. But yeah, listen, I think obviously for me, looking at this game, obviously let's go back to the game. I want to speak on Jorginho because I feel like a lot of times at the start of the season, I was actually very negative about him. I thought that he slowed the play down. I thought that he isn't made for the Premier League. He just isn't made for how quick the defense move, quick the midfield moves. He can't keep up. Yesterday was one of the best midfield performances I've seen from Jorginho in probably his whole career. Whether it be for Italy, whether it be for Chelsea, you know what I mean? Whether it be for obviously for Arsenal, of course it's the best. I think that was one of his best performances of his career. The way he was just so calm, so collected. He knew when to slow the game down. He knew when to pick up the pace. Like his whole reading of the game yesterday was amazing. He was my man of the match. Because I feel like he came into that game and that was the deciding factor, because that allowed Declan Rice to just sit there and to do what he does best, which is just be a nuisance, bro. Try and get the ball off of everyone, just clean up everywhere. Do you know what I mean? And Jorginho said, "Don't worry about having to go forward. I'm doing all that." Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about the pressing on this side. I'm doing all of that. Like they actually played in the double pivot instead of what's his name, Zinchenko, coming into the midfield doing a little double pivot thing with Rice. And for me, listen, Jorginho, 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 Jorginho.
Okay.
I
Bro,
listen, no. Listen, no, big up to him, bro, because he earned his bread, bro. He earned his bread for the week.
Would you start him in the next
He
match?
actually,
Would you start him against West Ham? I personally would.
this is the thing, because I didn't even get to answer this question. Do I think Arsenal will kick on from this game in the title race? Yeah. Do I think that they'll do? I think that they'll be able to bounce back and be able to kick on? Sorry, I can't answer that yet. Because yes, it's great beating Nottingham Forest, and yes, it's great winning 2 games in a row and then going and beating Liverpool. Yeah, that is brilliant. I'm so happy with beating Liverpool. I'm so gassed. But now that we go from beating Liverpool, we have to go away to West Ham, bro. Away to West Ham, the Declan Rice derby. And now
Mhm.
let's not make a mistake here. If we go ahead and we lose to West Ham or draw to West Ham, what we done this weekend means nothing. It means absolute diddly squat. Absolutely nothing. Liverpool will go and beat their game because they got Burnley. Burnley, you can't count on them. They're just leaking goals left, right, and center.
But what if
So
they win?
you can't. If they win, then that's it, bro. I feel like we're gonna be on a run, and I feel like we can carry
No, I
this
meant
run on for a while.
sorry, I meant what if Burnley win or take points off of Liverpool?
Oh, then we bust case.
Is that even possible?
Then we bust case.
See,
And
this
and
is-
then we have to hope that Man City drop points, because that's the kind of game that
We're playing the game that
that's
Man
the
City
kind of
played last
situation.
season. We're playing the game that
That's-
Man City played last season with us. We're chasing now. We're in their position. We're in the better
Exactly.
position right now. Because you
That's
said the
what
other
I'm
day, and I
saying.
agree with you, less pressure, right?
Yeah.
Pressure's on them. Pressure's on Liverpool right now. And then they're at muck right now compared to yesterday. So we
Mhm.
have to take every single game. Like that's why I've now learned, especially from last season, I'm taking every game as it just by itself. Now
That's what I'm
not-
saying. We're right now, the situation that we're in right now, we are in a situation of a game to game basis, bro. It's game
Mhm.
by game. It's
Yep.
not looking at it and this is the run that we've got. You have to go game by game, because every game is a must win now. The situation that we're in, how close the title race is, it's literally 2 points at the moment. Man City play now. they go level on points with us, I believe.
Yep.
If they win, so they go level on points with us. They have a game in hand, which could now send them, which could send them 1 point ahead of Liverpool on top of the league. Do you know what I mean? If they beat Brentford, if they don't beat Brentford, oh my god. If they don't beat Brentford, that is massive. That is massive for us. I know. Listen, whatever happens right now, I know there's one thing that Arsenal and Liverpool fans are in um agreement with, yeah, that we're all supporting Brentford today. I think everybody in the chat
Mhm.
and everybody right here can say, listen, we are all supporting Brentford today because
Yeah.
we want them to get points off of City, bro.
Mhm.
Because that is the real risk here. Yeah. Arsenal. I'm not really looking at Liverpool. I'm looking at Man City because Man City are at risk.
Mhm.
Liverpool can go and definitely win the league. They've got the experience to, of course. 100% they do. But Man City right now is the one that you're just waiting for them to just, you know what I mean, end up doing the 5-6 nils, and then they drop off to 4 nils, and then they concede one goal, but they still smack the team 4-1. Like crazy shit like that, bro. Right now, I need to see what we do against West Ham because that will show me whether we're actually on a run and we're actually standing on business, or we're sitting here trying to piss about and we're just here for a good time, bro. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's these kind of games that you win in these seasons. Yeah, Man United done it. Yeah, Man United done it. Man City have done it at times. Liverpool done it in their season, bro. Well, actually, in their season, to be honest, they kind of ran away with the league. But do you know what I mean? We done it in our heyday when we were with the Invincibles and we were in the late 90s and early 2000s. Bro, when we were winning leagues, bro. We done it when we went to Anfield 89, bro. Bro, we had no right to win the league at Anfield. No right. That Liverpool team was miles clear. And we still stood on business that day, bro. And we beat them to make sure that we can get that title, bro. We got Michael Thomas. Bro, like you have to understand, like it's simple as that, bro. This is the time frame from now until March, until the end of March is really going to show me what this team is made of. And we need to go on a consistent win streak. But I'll let you guys speak now about the whole
Mhm.
Bro,
situation.
I said about Jorginho, T to you, bro. Listen, and I ain't getting gassed after this game because I've said it. Listen, yeah, Jorginho has been far from bad for Arsenal Football Club, bro. Yeah, he for me, he's been painted with that brush, the Chelsea reject brush. Yeah, right now he's the best midfielder. Yeah, in Chelsea's team currently, current fullback, currently the last year that we've watched them play. Yeah, be real. Their midfield trash. Yeah, right now.
That was
Yeah,
funny. That was my talking point as well. I wanted to say that as well.
bro. Sorry, T, but yeah,
No
Jorginho,
problem.
bro. Listen, we held. People have got to give us a bit of respect with these. When you look at this stuff, we've held Liverpool and Man City to one shot on target each at the Emirates this season in the Prem. That's nuts. I'm sorry, and that's with a double. That's with our double pivot of Jorginho and Rice. Now is why I say that I have always said that Rice was brought in to be the 8, and we're looking for another number 6. We expected to have
Yeah.
Party this season. We haven't had him. That's why we're looking at Zubamendi, and this is what we're looking at because in these games, with that, we'll win these games. Bro, we haven't lost to the people that we're competing with this season in the league. We haven't lost to them. Yeah, we drew with Liverpool, beat Liverpool, and beat Man City. Yeah, it seems like they're not the games that are our problems right now. It's the lapsy days, cool little, you get caught by Fulham on a poor day because we haven't maybe got the depth. You know, the actual stat. This is why I say with Arteta this season, I see us differently. Yeah, we're not playing as good, but we're playing a brand of football that when we get it right, we'll be able to do runs of winning, because we control 90% of all games. Last season, we didn't control games like that. We'd win, we'd play beautiful football, but we wouldn't control the games. We're controlling the games now. And I think for me, them stats there, like the one shot each to Liverpool and Man City at the Emirates, is crazy to me. I think that's the
Yeah.
sort of stats you need to be getting against them teams to be competing with them. I think Jorginho has been class when he's come in for us, apart from the Tottenham game. But I don't even think he was that bad in the Tottenham game. I think that one mistake tarnished everything in that game and made him look whatever. It was a poor mistake. We know that. But yeah, I think Jorginho, man, I think he's been decent for us when he come in. Would I start him next game against West Ham?
I said in the Palace game he looked all right. He came on.
Yeah,
his system was great.
I think you have to play him because he plays that good.
Surely, yeah.
Obviously, it's like West Ham ain't as good as Liverpool, so you'd say maybe you'd play Smith Rowe and Rice because you want to go a bit more attacking. But I don't know.
Well, they're up front. They're poor right now. They are poor. Why they sold Ben Rama and Fornals is beyond me because they've got no attacking options now. They're having to play Ward-Prowse on the wing, or whatever they were doing in left midfield, or they were doing Souček there. They're a bit of a shambles right now. West Ham. We've got to go there and capitalize on that because we know how it can be a tough day at West Ham away. It can be. And again, and you made a great point, bro. We've got to capitalize on these games. Look at last season, Southampton, last place Southampton, and it happened. So I completely agree. We can perform against these big teams. It's when you go against the teams where you're like, 3 points, come on, grab and go. And we make it so hard for ourselves. And I hope we don't.
There's a bit of poetic justice potentially that could happen this season. And that's that last season, we dropped points to Liverpool, then we dropped points to West Ham, and then we capitulated the season. This year, we could beat Liverpool, go and beat West Ham, and then go on a run and perform well for the rest of the season, almost like a polar opposite. That's what we got to hope for, innit? I think if we beat West Ham, I think we'll win every game up until the City game.
Yeah, I think the only thing I worry about is we see how good. I don't know if you guys agree. We see if Havertz can be effective if he starts in the centre forward role and gives that option. But would you? I don't know if any of you agree. I just don't believe that starting Jesus as a striker, as a number 9, would work more. I just saw it looked so much more effective, and I like Jesus as a footballer. I think he's a great footballer, and I like him at Arsenal. But it just makes sense to have that physical presence in the centre forward role. I don't know if it's just me. Do any of you others agree with me? I think it just makes sense. And if you want to play Jesus on the wing, then maybe that. But I think someone's going to have to hit the bench for a while. Someone is going to have to hit the bench.
Yeah, I hear that, and I agree. I think Jesus looks better on the wing for me personally, especially because he's not a shoot first guy; he is a pass first guy as well. Yeah. And I think I agree with the fact that if Jesus plays somewhere else, the striker would be suited better for him. I think someone like Trossard would be much better as a striker, in my opinion. Like I said before, because he is a shoot first guy, and maybe even Havertz if he plays like this and interchanges with Martinelli, like Martinelli going to the striker as well. I think that will be better. Because I really, really rate Jesus. I just don't think he is a shoot first kind of guy. And we need that, especially now. And he also is not the best target man as well. So, yeah, on the wing, I'll rather see him on the wing than a striker. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, listen, I agree with a lot of what you guys were saying. In my opinion, Jorginho starts the next game. I feel like that midfield needs to stay the way it was. Unless they're gonna drop, if they play a low block, that's the only problem. Because I feel like a low block, that's when Jorginho becomes kind of useless in a way, because he's not able to do what he does best. Do you know what I mean? When somebody's not playing a low block, that's where he's best. That's why I think Jorginho in the Champions League games where they're not playing the low blocks would be good as well. In my personal opinion. I know that Connor has to go in a sec. But I just want to quickly touch on Saliba, and I'll let Connor go first before we end off the stream. Connor, what are your thoughts on Saliba yesterday? Because he didn't have the best of games yesterday. He was actually quite poor for his standards. He was quite poor. What were your thoughts on him yesterday?
Yeah, no, listen. I mean, I was in a match reaction yesterday, and there was a lot of Tottenham fans in there saying, "Oh, this is why Romero is better than Saliba." I'm like, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Listen, for me personally, if I'm going to more talk on the own goal, I think there was definitely some miscommunication between Saliba and Raya. It was very clear and evident. It was obviously clear that Saliba was trying to call for Raya to come pick up the ball, collect it. But Raya was sort of stood there like, right, do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? And he finally decided to go. And then Diaz, was it Diaz or was it? I can't remember who was trying to get the ball off Saliba. Was it?
It was
it Gabriel?
Diaz. It was Diaz.
Yeah, it was Diaz.
Diaz finally gets a hold of it, and then obviously rolls back in. Feet are everywhere. Gabriel taps into the back of the net. Listen, Saliba's going to have these games, and not every defender's perfect. Look at Van Dijk, had a stinker. I will back Saliba until if he actually throws a stinker, I don't care. But I'm seeing people say bench him and stuff. Like, what? Are you crazy? For me, he's still one of the best centre backs in the league, and maybe that's Arsenal bias. I don't know, and I don't care. In all honesty, listen, he'll have those moments. He wasn't fantastic yesterday, but I still believe on a consistent level, 90% out of 100, he's normally one of our best players, and he's so calm and collected on the ball, and he's at 22, 21, 22. He's got so much room to grow. And now, listen, I'm not too worried. If I see more consistency than something like that, then I will be worried. But it's very rare when Saliba goes on a poor run of form. Like, I don't think we've ever seen it before. Like, constant bad performances. So now I'm not worried, Sad. I ain't worried. I think we're all right for now. But I'm looking forward to Timber coming back, because just in case we will be able to have him in there, just in case, So
Oh my God.
praise be, we actually haven't had an injury still, touch wood, to any of our centre backs. So since he left, so I can't wait for him to be back, man, because that will just help us out even more.
Yeah, no, 100%. And obviously, Connor, appreciate you for coming through, my bro. I will put Connor's channel in the description, so make sure to go over there, give him a subscription. Listen, he's always putting up content, man. Very hardworking guy, so make sure to go and support his thing as well. A big up to you, Connor, man. I appreciate you for coming through, my brother.
Yeah, no worries. Appreciate it, fellas. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Sard. And you're on tomorrow. You're on my channel tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. Man.
Yes. That's gonna be live.
Yeah, we'll be good, man. So yeah, take care, guys. Thanks for chat for being legendary, and see you guys later. Yeah, take care.
Yo, big up, Connor.
What are your guys' thoughts on Saliba yesterday?
Bro, did he have a bad game?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think he had
man.
a bad game, bro. I think that one little mistake, and then people are just going, all the rival fans that hate Saliba, that we've got Saliba and he's that good, will just jump down and start putting things in people's head that he had a bad game. Brother, they had one shot on target all game. He didn't have a bad game. He didn't have a spectacular game.
Let's remember, he actually started off the goal, the first goal. I can't remember who it was. There was someone that ran out of position to try and close Saliba down, and Saliba literally let the ball slide by his body, and he released the pass off to Gabriel, which then created all the space, and it all began. Like, I don't know, man. I feel it's very reactionary to say that he had a bad game, and even with the mistake, this is how I viewed the mistake: is Saliba is obviously really confident in his ability and really confident in his strength. I cannot fault him for that. Sometimes the other player just does really well to create something out of nothing, and that's just how I view it, right? Because after that, don't get me wrong, he didn't have like an 8 or 9 out of 10 game. If I was to give it a rating, I'd probably say somewhere between 6 to 6.5. But you don't need to be 8 or 9 out of 10 every game to be an amazing player, because not every amazing player has 8 or 9 out of 10 games all the time. I think it's very reactionary, and I think people are blown out of proportion, in my opinion. He remained pretty calm throughout the whole game, even while making a mistake as well.
The thing is with that mistake. The thing is with that mistake as well. It's like, I do think it's Saliba's mistake, because I don't agree with this Raya's fault thing. Because listen, if your keeper hasn't called for the ball, do not just expect him to be there, brother, and come and get it. Just get rid of it. You got a minute left, yeah. But I don't mind that. We won the game, so it's easier to say that. I don't mind these mistakes with Saliba sometimes, because the way he plays, the way he turns these men when he's the last man, and that the confidence that we love watching him, that's gonna occasionally bite. The best penalty takers in the world, they're so good at penalties, they'll still miss an occasional penalty just out of the blue.
Neil Mopai!
Shut up.
Vamos! Vamos!
Bro, is he becoming an Arsenal hero, bro?
My
This
bad,
guy
bro. My bad.
beefing James
Sorry.
Madison, trying to buck Man City now.
Sorry.
You know,
My bad, bro. My bad.
Oh, you
My bad.
scared
I
me a
couldn't
little bit.
hold
Bro,
it in, bro.
what a mistake by Guardiola, by the way. 90 million defender. Hold that, City.
bro. Huge.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
man. So
yeah.
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 But just the one last thing. Sorry. Yeah. So for me, you've got to understand that when a defender plays the way Saliba plays, mistakes will occasionally happen. And as long as the team, that's why you said the team's got to back you. When you make a mistake, the team has to back you and get you out of that mistake. They done that for Saliba yesterday. They done it where not that mistake don't mean jack shit to me now. Yeah, it weren't it weren't even the maddest of mistakes because it was still a fluke after the mistake. Like he made a mistake where he should have just got rid of it. But then it was like he just got a toe on it. Then it's hit Gabriel and it's gone in the net, and it's a bit like a fluke, bruv. It's like the Arsenal super goal. It didn't even come off one of their players' own goal. You know, it's not like the Gabriel one against Fulham last season. You know that one, that sort of mistake. That's a bit more.
That's the Bozo gene.
That's the Bozo gene.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah.
Gabriel.
See?
Though.
Yeah, just to give my 2 cents, I forgot to give my opinion about Jorginho. By the way, I'll do that really fast.
Yeah, go on.
Jorginho, I think he brings something that we miss when we play Havertz in the midfield, and that is a ball-playing midfielder. I think Havertz doesn't ask the ball as much as Jorginho, and Jorginho brings the calmness. And the Jorginho we saw yesterday was in my opinion, the Ballon d'Or nominee, Jorginho. I think he was that good yesterday. His progressive passes, his reading of the game, and also with his interceptions, because he had a lot of interceptions as well, which is amazing. You don't expect that from him with his pace and with his speed, you know. But yesterday, I think he brought something in the midfield that we missed when Havertz plays. And I think the best way we could continue forward this season is to interchange Jorginho and Emil Smith Rowe, depending on the circumstances and who we play. I think that would be the move we could do the rest of the season. Jorginho against ball playing teams, and for the low blocks, we play Emil Smith Rowe, for example, you know? Um, so yeah, all praise to Jorginho. I think I agree with the fact that you say if he plays for Chelsea right now, he would be their best midfielder. I think Caicedo and Enzo could have learned a lot from him. Even Rice said before Jorginho came to Arsenal that he said he rated Jorginho as well, and he could learn a lot under him. So yeah, all the praise to Jorginho for this game. I think he deserved it. I think he deserves his flowers, just as Arteta. But we'll come to Arteta maybe later. I don't know. But anyway, Saliba. I think when Saliba has quiet games, it's better. You know why? Because that means the other players are playing good. Because normally the reason why Saliba always is the eye catcher is because normally other players around him are not in the best form. You know, we've Ben White has been out of form. Zinchenko has been making a lot of mistakes. A lot of rival fans talk about Gabriel still having the Bozo gene, even though he improved a lot. But Saliba was the eye catcher because he did everything right. And the mistake, the way I see it, Saliba he likes to play pretty, you know? And the pretty way to finish that position is to hold off Diaz until the end, until Raya got the ball. That's the pretty way. He didn't want to boot it away because that's the rash thing to do, you know? And Saliba is not that kind of player. So these mistakes can happen. But if you learn from it, the better, you know? That's what we want. And I agree with the fact that you guys are saying that uh, uh, I don't mind him making mistakes because he always recovers and he always plays a solid game afterward. And yesterday was the same. He made that mistake and afterwards he was solid. And like I said, if Saliba is not the eye catcher of the game, the better. I like that because that means the other players are playing better as well. And that's how I want to see it, you know? So I don't mind. He can learn from it.
Nah, fair enough, bro. And just to finish off, Mikel Arteta, because we do need to wrap up. Mikel Arteta, what are your thoughts on Mikel Arteta, guys?
Do you want to go first, T?
Okay, I'll go first because I'm the main supporter of Arteta, you know, right? That's why, right? Well, I'm going to give praise where it's due. I think Arteta had an amazing tactical masterclass yesterday. I also thought that Klopp was moving mad, but hey, we'll take it. I think Klopp made a lot of mistakes as well. Playing Gakpo and Gravenberg together with Trent on the right is a suicide, in my opinion, because those three players are not the dynamic players that you want. The they're not the players that are in your face 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And Gakpo is also not explosive, so playing him on the wing is also really bad, in my opinion. But hey, that's Klopp's part. I think Arteta capitalized perfectly on that mistake of Klopp, and also seeing how they set up and make sure that they don't get a sniff of this ball. But because apart from the first 10 to 15 minutes of the second half, they got nothing. We gifted them the goal, and Arteta deserves all the credit for this. You know how I feel about Arteta. I think he's not good enough. But if he shows me this in a consistent basis, I don't mind backing him. You know, I'm not that kind of guy who is that proud that I would stick by my uh, opinions no matter what. You know, if this guy proves me wrong and goes on a winning streak after beating West Ham, going through to Porto, and then going to City with all W's, and then going to City and put out a performance, bro, you will get praise from me, you know? And yesterday was that kind of game. We gave Liverpool their first L this season. Fuck Tottenham Hotspur, you frauds. You didn't do anything, okay? That was all the refs. We gave Liverpool their first L this season, legitimately, you know? And we outclassed them. And nobody else did that this season. And it's all praise to Arteta. The way he played Havertz, him letting him interchange with Martinelli, Jorginho in the midfield, it was brilliant. It was brilliant, you know? And even playing Kivior at the left back and making him play decent. How? How did he do that? Because this guy's not a left back, but even Kivior looked good yesterday. And that's the way he's set up. And you guys were giving Saka praise and said he was playing a good game. The triangles, the shapes, the octagons, the four, excuse me, the squares. You know, you were talking about that, yes, Sak?
Man's allergic to the tactical language, bro.
Yeah, but you were talking about that, yeah? You gave praise to Saka. I gave praise to Arteta because he's the one that set them up like that. He's the one that told them to play like that. If Jesus was on the right, exactly the same would happen yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm giving praise to Arteta rather than Saka in this case, because Arteta did that, not Saka. You know what I'm saying? And all the praise to him. You know, I'm Arteta out, but this is praiseworthy, and all the flowers to him.
Yeah. Nah, fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Guys, what are your thoughts?
I think Arteta gets so harshly critiqued, and I think it's because Arsenal fans buy into so much of what rival fans say. You got to realize when rival fans don't like something in your team, they'll slag it off to the moon, bro. They won't ever give credit to the person or anything like that because they don't want you to have them. They're pissed that you've got them. And I'm not saying Arteta's the finished product. I'm not saying Arteta's the best manager in the world. I'm not saying any of that. But what I will say is, like, you said that he put up a masterclass tactical performance against Klopp, outdone him. He's done it against every manager that he's faced. He's done that in a game or other, right? There is even been games where we were much better than Man City, even if we haven't won the game, right? We've been better than them. But the fact of the matter is, sometimes when your players ain't all there, there's this thing of you got to either blame the manager or you got to either blame the players. It's a mixture. Yeah. Same way you could say these players with a different manager, with a better manager, wins the league. You could say if Arteta was managing Man City, he'd win the league. You could say the same thing. If he had better players, he'd win the league. You know, so I don't like them little arguments. For me, Arteta this season, he started changing stuff. He's doing all right. We need to start seeing a bit more because just the way football is, it's toxic. The pundits are toxic. A lot of the fans are toxic. And I'm not saying toxic in the sense of like having your opinion on your team. I'm talking about rivals, people that are meant to even pundits that are meant to be neutral, yeah, they'll throw their little agendas out there to get people to hate Arteta. The same way they're still going on about him celebrating, but yet the same Premier League that are saying that, the same Premier League that when Klopp retired, said he was leaving Liverpool, put up the compilation of his celebrations, his greatest celebrations. Klopp is an amazing, passionate coach. Conte is an amazing, passionate. They'll put them seeds in there. Why? Because no one wants Arsenal to win the league again. I'm telling you for a fact. No Chelsea fan, no Man United fan, no Tottenham fan, no Man City fan, no Liverpool fan. They don't want us winning the league. Yeah, they don't want us winning anything because we're Arsenal, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This just the hate is real for us. I'm not even gonna lie. The past 2 years has proven it more than anything to me with us playing good. Arteta, right now, I'm happy with him. Does he need improving? Yes, he does. He needs to learn still. He's still not a seasoned manager. He needs to win something. This is why last season would have been amazing, because the second that this manager wins something big and the second these players win something big, good night. That's what I'm going to say to rival fans. Good night, bro, because when we win something big like a Champions League or a Premier League, we're going to be cooking from here on out for a while. Arteta in right now. I don't like the in and out thing. You know that.
Listen, I only disagree with one thing you said, which was that he's done what he done against Liverpool against every team that he's faced. You know, for me, he didn't coach a good game against West Ham in the League Cup. I think, in fact, the team that he put out was very, very weak. So he's definitely made mistakes. Mistakes.
Sorry. When I say that, I mean he's done that once to a team. Like he's done that to West Ham before.
Right.
And I mean this season. I mean every manager he's come up against, he smoked once at least. Not smoked, but he's put a great performance, a masterful tactical performance against them once.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Studio hooks before I end off with my whole thing.
So, I love Arteta. I'm gonna keep it 100,000,000% real. He's the type of manager that I think is perfect for our club, because he's someone who, if you think about from the coaching of a human perspective, he's always trying to do things that give the players energy or make them think in a different way or make them understand the game in a different way. Like, he's constantly trying to innovate. And I think that the players are buying so much into what he's trying to instill into them that to remove him from the helm would be detrimental to Arsenal Football Club right now. Like, I will always stand on this one point, is that Arsenal hired Mikel Arteta off of his plan, and we are living out his plan. And he has been able to change the culture from what it was back to, I guess, what we all remember it to be in Wenger's first 8 years of being Arsenal manager. So I don't know. I like the fact that he's constantly willing to battle against the norm. And he actually tries to, I guess, implement things that, people say is crazy. For example, the light bulb thing, which I think was, quite, quite intelligent, because you're trying to make players think about things outside of the frame of football, which is really good when you are coaching humans, to kind of apply a similar kind of point, but giving it in a context that exists outside of football, because it's a lot easier for humans to understand things when you're not putting it into such a specific context. So yeah, I say keep him, and if I was to see him go, I would be very upset.
Fair enough. Listen, for me, it's very simple. He's coached some good games and he's coached some very well bad ones. But he's 4 years into his process, as we like to call it. He's 4 years into his process, and I'll be honest right now, in the position that we are in, where we are, listen, as much as I disagree with why not with a lot of stuff, This I agree with him a lot because his man management has been poor for the last 4 years.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? So that's one thing that I do agree with. But listen, this season well, especially in the last 5 games, he's shown some growth where he's shown that he isn't stubborn now. He's not trying to do the same thing over and over again, looking for different results, because that is the definition of insanity. That is the definition of you going crazy when you're doing the exact same thing and expecting different results from it. So
Just
I yeah, go on, bro.
just quickly on the man management thing, right? So I've been a coach, but in a different context, right? And one
Mm.
of the most difficult things to change is people's personality. Like, it is so difficult to change how someone thinks. It's easy to teach new skills, but to teach a frame of mind, or how human acts, or how they react to things, that is very difficult. So I wouldn't put that down to his man management being bad. I would put that down to, I guess, the stubbornness or the personalities of the players that he was dealing with.
But just to answer that,
Studio Hooks, just
you, can I say one thing?
go ahead.
You
Yeah.
I'm guessing that your job or your profession, I don't know what it was. You didn't pick and choose who you coached, right?
No, yeah, no.
Yeah, he did, and he bought most of these players. So
Did
he
he?
chose it upon himself to get these players in, even though he had to deal with these set of personalities. You know?
Mm. Listen, for me, it's very simple. Yeah, I compare. Whenever I speak about man and management, I go to the absolute king. Yeah, I go to the absolute don for man management, and the don for man management is the one and only Sir Alex Ferguson. He is the don for man management. Yeah, and you see the way that Ferguson used to deal with Cantona was very different to the way that he deal with Roy Keane, was very different to the way he deal with Rooney, very different to the way he deal with Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean? Rio Ferdinand. He deal with players differently because players need to be approached differently. Cantona, he knew if he tries to discipline him and he tries to tell him what to do, Cantona does not reply to that well. He does not react to that well. Cantona, although he, because they'd all come in suits, and Cantona would be the only one that come in a tracksuit. The only one who'd come in a tracksuit, and so Alex Ferguson would let stuff like that slide because even though he knows that Cantona on the pitch is going to perform, so he can let him slide. But Cantona and him still have respect to the sense that he knows that he's the boss, and he doesn't need to stamp his authority. Do you know what I mean? For him to find out, and I just feel like there's different ways to deal with different players, which I feel like Arteta can implement into his style, where he can improve his man management massively. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, to be honest.
But bro, I'd say that, but then he's bad with man management. But what players, bro? This is what people don't. I don't think people look at what players. What, like, tell me one good player, one top player that he's not done that with. Because I can't name one. Yeah, if man want to say Aubameyang weren't doing it at that point. Aubameyang weren't scoring the goals anymore. Aubameyang was poor when that happened, when that started happening. Yeah, Cantona was a baller. Yeah, so you allow a baller. Plus, Ferguson had won stuff, so he knew that the players know, and he's won stuff. So it's like, if he does that with him, shut the fuck up and do what I say, bro. I'm the manager, bro. Arteta's not got that yet because he ain't won anything. If he wins a few league, like Pep can do that, because why? No matter if Pep treats him differently, you're not arguing with Pep because you know that he knows best. Yeah, you just know,
Okay,
right?
Mhm.
So
so
for me,
I can name you players.
yeah, but name me, cool. Name me some players that
Guendouzi,
yeah.
Guendouzi.
Where's he
Gwen
playing?
I
Doozy,
feel like
no. Gwen Doozy's
Pepe,
I've
absolutely.
okay, yes, so did Cantona. Okay, and I'm not comparing them in
No.
regards to player skill, but all I'm saying is that yes, Guendouzi is a see you next Tuesday. We know that, yeah. We know he's a see you next Tuesday. Okay,
He's a big
but
next Tuesday.
yeah, he is a see you next Tuesday. Obviously, I'm not trying to fully get this video derailed off, so I'm not going to say the word, but he is a see you next Tuesday, yeah. And you need that in a team. You need that in a team. So I felt like there was a different way that he could approach that whole situation, which could have been like, okay, because let's face it, Guendouzi for me was a very good midfielder.
I
And
don't know
in the right system, no, he was a very good midfielder, bro. In the right system, I feel like he could have. This is the reason why Arteta falls into a kind of a situation where he gets criticized for having only yes men, only people that say yes, 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 sir. I'll follow your rule. Everything that you say, I'll say it. But this is what I'm saying. If he took on Guendouzi, and if Guendouzi was still playing with us, and he gave him a chance, and he said to him, "Listen, I know you get riled up, I know you get angry, and we're not always gonna." Because it goes back to Sir Alex Ferguson. How many times did he have a ruckus with players?
But
He wouldn't
it's
get
not
rid of
even
them,
it's,
though.
Bro,
it's not even anger. Well, like when it comes to Guendouzi, like Guendouzi's the guy that went up to someone and said, "Oh, I get paid more than you." Like it's completely different to like a player who's angry on. He's actually just a nasty human. Like, do you know
A
what I mean?
dickhead.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's. I can't. And truth be told, like if you're at Cantona's level, then you can be
Yeah.
like that. But Guendouzi was nowhere near that level to even
Yeah,
remind
no,
and
100%.
behave in the way
and
that.
that's my point, bro. Where is Guendouzi playing now? Where's Guendouzi? Where's
No, but
any
that's just
no, but Sam, any player that Arteta's fallen out with and he's got out the squad, where are they playing now? None of them. I'm telling you, none of them are playing top level. Yeah, they're not. They're not like when I say top level, I mean like one of the top couple leagues. Like they're not playing for Madrid or anything like that. They're not playing for Inter or anything like that. They're not playing for any top Premier League team. Yeah, these guys, because we just see it like you need to see you next Tuesday in the team starts 100% on the pitch. Ben White is a see you next Tuesday. Yeah, on the pitch, the stuff he does, that's the sort of guy you want. The guy that will, when the ref's not looking, he'll trip my man. Yeah, he'll do little scummy things. Guendouzi was
Call out
too
teammates
much.
as well.
Yeah, Guendouzi was too much, and we don't know that he weren't transitioning that into training and stuff like that, like where he's not training right, you know. And listen, if you're not, but the thing is, I'll tell you what, yeah, I guarantee you any money that if Cantona done something that pissed off Sir Alex Ferguson, and Sir Alex Ferguson said, bro, just apologize for what you done. You were in the wrong. Just apologize. Yeah, he had enough respect for Ferguson to probably apologize to him, bro. Yeah, not to say he's going to do everything you tell him. He's not that sort of human, but he'd apologize when he's wrong.
Yeah.
Guendouzi was so arrogant, yeah, that he didn't want to apologize for what he done. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Listen, Arteta needs to improve man management probably. But everything that I've heard about him is how good he is at man management. Before we got him, Man City, Sterling said what he done for his career at at thing. Sane, these players all bigged up his man management. I just think that the players that he's not done good man management with, say not good man management, are players that don't want to be man managed out. They don't want to be here anymore. They don't want to be at that level. Even Aubameyang, bro. Yeah, people like he's cooking out. I see in the comments, my man's like he got rid of Aubameyang and kept Eddie. What's this guy on, bro? If you understand football, you know why that will be a thing. First of all, they're different levels. Aubameyang ain't gonna be sitting on no bench all season and that. But bro, that's what I mean. None of these guys that have left. This is what I'm saying. We haven't let a guy go, and then we're like, oh my god, man, we shouldn't have let him go. There's not one.
Balogun.
Kieran Tierney. But Balogun, what's he doing this season, bro? What's he doing this season?
I think he would do a lot better than Eddie, that's for sure.
But the thing is, he demands more than Eddie, bro. He would be causing more like Eddie.
To be honest, this is the season that he could have gotten those minutes.
Well, yeah, but he didn't want to. But he also come with a thing of he didn't want to. He wanted to leave. So you know what? The same as Pep. You want to leave? Goodbye, mate. Goodbye, mate.
No, he didn't want to. He didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay, but he offered them an ultimatum. He said to them, "I am a better striker than Eddie Nketiah," which I think so. He is a better striker than Eddie Nketiah. 100%. He said to them, "I'm a better striker than Eddie Nketiah. I deserve that spot." If he stayed, then he would have been third place. Because Eddie Nketiah is so highly rated by Arteta, and Jesus is going nowhere. Jesus is so important to the way that we play.
But that's the thing, and like you shouldn't judge Balogun versus Nketiah because Balogun should be judged against Jesus, who he's a more closer profile to. So it's not, is he going to play instead of Nketiah? It's, is he going to play instead of Jesus? And he's not, because he's not better than Jesus. And Nketiah offers something different to Jesus that Balogun doesn't offer because he's such a similar profile to Jesus.
Yeah.
I liked Balogun, but he's never done it in the Premier League either, bro. It's easy to say, bro. He's got 4 goals this season in the French league, bro.
Listen, that's he's fighting with strikers. But anyway, listen, that is it for today. Thank you very much for everybody who has tuned. Thank you very much for everybody who has liked. Thank you very much to the panel who joined me, and big up Connor as well. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel as well. All the boys' links will be in the description, so make sure to go and subscribe to them as well. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in with us. We will see you on the next one. Peace out, my people.